Hi guys, I wanted to talk today about how to develop consistency. We all know that developing the consistency is so key to weight loss and lifestyle change. It's absolutely necessary. So, how do we develop consistency? I started out at well over 300 pounds and I've lost around 175 right now. And the big difference for me out of from this time versus all the other 2000 times I tried to lose weight was consistency. I mean, it's a big part of the difference. So, so I have some tips that I'm just going to share, just things that helped me and might help you. First of all, if you're having a problem developing consistency, maybe you're not asking the right questions. So my first suggestion would be ask the right questions. The first question I would ask is, why is it a problem for you? Because whatever you're struggling with developing consistency, maybe it's not that big of a problem. Maybe that's why you can't stick with it. Maybe that's why you're not being consistent. So why is it a problem for you? Say you need to lose weight, say you need to lose 50 pounds. Is it a problem for you or is it a problem for somebody else? Maybe it's not really a problem for you. Maybe it's a problem for your mom or for your husband or for your wife or something like that. And that could be why you're not really motivated to do it. But on the other hand, a lot of times we live in denial. Is it a problem for you? Um, is it affecting your energy levels? Is it affecting your mobility? Are you living your best life? Are you feeling your best? Is that what motivates you? Like you just want to feel good, you want to feel better, you want to have more energy, and there's a problem for you right now because of this. If that's what it is, then it's a problem. So ask yourself that question: why is it a problem? Secondly, the second question that I would ask is, what is the cost of staying the same? So if you don't change, what is it going to cost you? Is it going to cost you health and wellness? Is it going to cost you um, time with your kids, time with your family? Does it cost you not living your best life or not living even a good life? Is it affecting your quality of life? So, if you don't change, if you don't work on this consistency, if you don't become consistent, what is that going to look for you? Like if you look ahead 2 years, what's it going to look for you? If you look ahead 5 years, what's that look for you? Go up to 10 years. Say you're 40 right now. What is that going to look for you in 10 years when you're 50? Are you going to be better or worse? So look at that. And then on the flip side of that same question is, what's it going to cost you to change? So in order to develop the consistency, are you going to have to get out of bed earlier? Are you going to have to give up certain foods? Are you going to have to give up certain habits? Are you going to have to meal prep or meal plan? Things like that. What is it going to cost you to change? What is it? I mean, basically, it's a saying like, what do you need to do to change? And are you willing to do that? It's like there's a famous quote that says that people will change when the pain of staying the same outweighs the pain of changing. And for me, that was very true. Like I had to get to a point, unfortunately, I don't think everybody has to get to this point. But for me, I had to get to a point where I was in so much mental, physical, spiritual, emotional anguish that it was kind of a do or die for me. Now, like I said, everybody doesn't have to do that, but just what's it going to cost you to change? What's it going to cost you to stay the same? And what is your desired outcome? Like, what is it that you're trying to achieve here? For me, it was a lifestyle change. For me, I wanted to become a different person because my integrity was gone. I couldn't trust myself anymore. Um, I I just was not the person I wanted to be, and I could see in the future it wasn't going to get any better. It was only going to get worse. So what is your desired outcome? And that could be as specific as I want to lose 50 pounds. Or it could be, somewhere along the lines of, I want to develop my integrity. I want to become a person of my word, a person who follows through, a person of self-discipline, things like that. So what is your desired outcome? What's it going to cost you? But you've really got to get clear on this, because there's obviously a disconnect. If you're not able to make yourself become consistent, there's obviously a disconnect. Someplace you're saying, I want this, but if you want it, why aren't you doing it? You know what I mean? And on the same token, if you don't want it, why are you killing yourself trying to do it? There's obviously a disconnect. There's some place between what you really want and what you think you want, or what you're willing to do. So get really clear on all those things. It's really going to help you with your consistency, because once you get clear on those things, you're going to know really what you're going for. Why are you doing this? Why is it important to you? And what? So yeah, my next tip would be, have an actual goal or a plan. So you don't have to make out a big plan, but let's just say like one thing. Like, let's just say that your one goal is to drink a gallon of water. Have it as a goal. Like, this needs to be done every single day. Or say that you want to develop the exercise habit, like I've talked about in several different places. I started my exercise habit by getting on my Tony little Gazelle glider, and doing a song. Just one song. I was like, I'm just going to get on this dang thing. I'm going to do one song and I'm getting off. And what's a song? 2-3 minutes? So it was a song I really liked. So the time went by, 2-3 minutes went by fast. And then it was literally within a day or two, I was like, well, I could do 2 songs, So I had, on my little music player thing, and I downloaded 2 songs to do 2 songs I really liked, so I could kind of jam out to my 2 whole songs. And I just worked out from there very easily. And would you believe that within just a couple weeks, I was up to doing 45 minutes very easily. In fact, sometimes I was doing it in the day and in the evening, in the morning and in the evening, because it was enjoyable at that point, just listening to my music. And then from there, I went up to kickboxing and other things like that. But just start with something, but have an actual goal, an actual plan, what you're going to do. It doesn't have to be a big plan. What I'm saying is pick at least one thing, one habit. It could be the water. It could be working out to one song. It could be a 10-minute workout, or it could be something big. For me, when I did my change, I did have to do drastic changes. Little changes weren't working for me. I'm a black and white, all or nothing kind of girl. So I was going to go big or go home. I wasn't going to lose a pound a month and stay motivated. So for me, I had to make drastic changes that worked for me, continues to work for me. I'm not going to dabble and make something work. That's just me. But know yourself, and give yourself something to be consistent with. Along with that is going to be my next tip would be, get like a calendar that you can mark off on. Now I got this this idea from James Clear from Atomic Habits. You want to string your days together. So you look at your calendar and you're going to X off every single day that you do whatever that last goal, habit, or series of habits is going to be for you. For me, my biggest one was my food. And when I first started, my only focus was the food. My only focus was I made my food plan out every night, and I stuck to that food plan no matter what. That was my only focus. I didn't try to do, water, exercise, and a food plan. But I made a huge and drastic change to my food plan. So that's why I did that. And so I needed to focus just on that. So that worked for me. But whatever, you can start with something small. You can start with something big. Again, know thyself. Start where you are. Start where you are. If you don't have time to do a food plan right now, start with your water. Start with the 10 minutes of exercise. But just do it consistently. Start with your calendar and X off every day that you do it. What your goal is to try to string all those X's together and not miss a day. Okay, not miss a single day. And it's actually really motivating. And there's other ways that you can do this, to make that consistency chain. Some people will do like paper clips, but what I do like about the calendar is that you can see your consistency right there. It's very motivating. You don't want to miss that day. So that's another tip I have for you. Another one is don't give yourself a choice. If I had a choice between eating a salad or birthday cake or nachos, I was going to take the birthday cake and the nachos. It only came to the point where I did not give myself that choice. Here's a little trick for you guys. If you guys don't give yourself a choice to eat that crap, it doesn't even take willpower, because you don't have a choice. You didn't give yourself a choice. So it's not an option. It's kind of like if I said, would you like to try something from chimpanzee, which I know is not a country, but Zimbabwe, that you've never heard of. Is it going to be hard for you not to eat that? No, because you don't know what the heck it is. It's not an option. If it's not an option, you won't do it. So if it's not an option for you to miss the gym, you're not going to miss it. So don't give yourself the option, whatever it is that you decide that you're working on your consistency for. The same. If it's something small like drinking your water, don't give yourself the option not to. Fill up your gallon and you say, I'm finishing this thing before I go to bed tonight. No choice. In the Beck Diet book, which she deals with a lot of cognitive therapy, and I've mentioned her books many times, she actually has you write it on like an index card or a post-it note or something that you put there, and you just write on there, no choice. And then you tell yourself whenever you think, oh, I can have, no choice. That's not a choice for me today. And one way to help with that, this really helped me. This is my last tip, and it kind of goes together, is give yourself immediate consequences. So what is something that you can do that makes the bad choice, the choice that you don't want to make, look unattractive now? And the reason of this is, if I eat the birthday cake now, I feel great now. I'm not worried about my goals for the rest of the month. I'm worried about like this now, these 5 minutes right here. And so it would be easier for me to make the choice to eat the birthday cake than to stick to my plan. One way that I was able, that for me, and I've written about this in my blog, and I've mentioned it before, was that I texted someone my commitment, and this someone needed to be somebody that I had a lot of respect for. The person that I ended up texting was former military, runs like marathons and stuff like that, and I asked him, can I text you a commitment every morning and text you every night that I followed through with it? And of course he said yes. And so that became my immediate consequence, because if I didn't follow through with it, I was going to have to text him and say I didn't keep my commitment. And the reason this worked for me is because there was no way on God's green earth that I was going to text him that I hadn't followed through. Because who it was, because I had that kind of respect for him. It has to be somebody that you respect. It can't be like, your bestie who's going to be like, oh, it's okay, honey. It's okay. Just try again tomorrow. I had tried that before and it didn't work for me. And that's why, because it was too easy for me to tell them that I'd failed. So this time I chose someone who, like I said, there became no choice for me, because there's no way I was going to text him and tell him that I'd failed. So don't give yourself a choice. Give yourself immediate consequences. And work on your consistency. We can do this together. We can do more. Y'all have a great night.